Okay, church, take a deep breath and sit down, because this is the video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. In fact, for at least 4 months now, I've been wanting to make this. 4 months ago, I was watching the video, March 13th. It was one of the first COVID-19 videos we made. And as I was explaining how we're going to have to go online for service, at least for that week, this was how I said it. I said, it looks like this may go beyond just this week. Not only did it go beyond just this week, it ended up going for 4 months. And so that's why today I'm really excited to share with you that the leadership team of our church, our elders, as well as our staff, we've been together, we've been praying through this whole process, and we are ready now. We feel like it's wisdom, we feel like it's right. We need to come back together. So this Sunday, I want to announce this Sunday, 10 a.m., we're coming back together in the sanctuary. Let's come inside. I know for some people, they've kind of made this big deal of, well, the church isn't a building and you don't have to have a building to be a Christian. Well, the bottom line is this. Coming together is vitally important. Even physical proximity is vitally important. We see that not throughout just church history, but we see it throughout New Testament history. In fact, we see the commands of God in the book of Hebrews to not forsake, don't stop getting together as some were in the habit of doing. We need this. So we're coming back together inside in our beautiful edifice, the sanctuary, where we can worship together. Now, and let me just hit the brakes for a second. I realize for some of you, that's a huge step. For some of you, you're not ready for that. And we want you to know we're okay with that. For whatever reason, be it a health reason, be it that's just not where you're at. We want you to know it's okay. It's okay. We're still I'm looking at the camera right now that's here in the sanctuary. We're still gonna broadcast live every service. We're gonna include you in that. We're still gonna be online, so you can still worship with us from your home or from wherever you may be. But if you're physically able and you're here in the area, you're not traveling or whatever, I want to encourage you. Join us this Sunday. Join us in this new season as we come back together. Now, a couple of things that I just want to toss out to you that are going to make this work. Later on this week, Matt Holloway is going to be sharing a video that's going to walk you through some of the specifics of what it's going to look like, some things that we are doing to prepare the building and just to make it a thing that we can stay healthier. We're still going to social distance. We're going to encourage that. We're going to encourage no handshaking, no hugging. We're going to encourage all of that stuff. And I know that elephant in the room is masks, to mask or not to mask. Listen, that's a mandate that the health officer threw out. We're just going to leave that up to you. You follow it. You don't follow it. That's your decision. You decide on your own. But we want you to come and just worship. Come. Be a part. Come, let's worship together. And in order for us to stay healthy, we're going to have some of these things that Matt's going to talk about that we're going to lay out. But one of the biggest things and I've got notes here, so it's going to look like I'm reading because I want to make sure I read these clearly. If you have been sick or infected, we're going to follow right now. We're going to be pretty staunch on these rules. As time goes on, we may loosen it up. But right now, if you've been sick or infected with COVID-19, we want to encourage you to worship online and then come back only after at least 3 days have passed since your recovery. Now that's defined as the resolution of fever without the use of fever-reducing medications and improvement in respiratory symptoms. That's how they say it. So basically, if you've been sick, the last day of your fever, give it another 3 days, and then we can be sure that you're past that, and we welcome you to come worship in person as opposed to online. If you live with someone who's been infected, if someone you live in the same house has been infected, we would encourage you to join us through online church and stay home from any church-related activities at least 14 days after your last exposure, or until you have a negative test. So basically, if your husband or wife or child or whatever started quarantining on a certain day and they were in their bedroom and locked away, whatever, okay, on that day, count 14 days, 10 to 14 days, and you should be pretty clear by then. So if you live with that person, if you feel, and here's kind of the third category, if you feel healthy, but you recently had close contact with a person, close contact, like you were talking in a conversation, you were with them, around them, and if you had that with a person with COVID-19, we want to encourage you, just join us through online church and stay home from any church-related activities for at least 7 days after your last exposure, or until you have a negative test. So if you could do that, I think that would really help us to stay healthy as a church. And so if you have any questions about that, or maybe you have a specific situation that, well, what about this or what about that? We're not doctors, we're not the health department, and we're definitely not CDC. So let us know. We can try to help you. And if in doubt, obviously the safe way would be just continue to worship online until you're past it. But feel free to ask us questions if you've got any. But we feel like if we do this, we're going to continue to be healthy. And so that's what we're asking. Beyond that, we just encourage you just to use common sense. The biggest thing is this: just use common sense. And if you're sick, stay home. That's one thing we don't want to pass around. And we believe we're going to be good with that. We are going to have children's ministry. This is something we've thought long and hard about. We had all kinds of debate and questions and processed everything through. But we're going to have open nurseries, and we're going to have our preschool and kindergarten class, our kids' church, as well as our Group 56. We're going to be happening. So if you want to come and worship as a family, and regularly how those classes work, we have volunteers in all those areas that have said very clearly that we're comfortable coming back and teaching, and we're going to do our best. It's going to be easier for the older kids to kind of keep them separated. The younger kids, of course, that's going to be a challenge, but we're just going to do our best, keep things cleaned, keep kids healthy and well. And so that's where we're at. The biggest thing is this: this decision has to be made. And bottom line is, this decision has to be made. At some point, we have to come back together. And we feel at peace that right now is the time that we should. And none of these things are going to be perfect. We're not going to go around blaming people. You caused this sickness or that sickness. The whole blame culture. No, we're not going to do that. But we're going to do everything we can to come back together, worship together. We need each other. Let's be together, and let's do it in a healthy way. And we feel like this is the best way to do that. So really excited. Can't wait to see you. This is going to be a great service this week. This week we're going to be worshiping together through song, as well as the preaching of the word and offerings and all those things. Obviously, there's going to be some small things that are different. Matt will tell you more about that later. But this week we're also going to have a missionary with us, Nathan Turney. He's like one of the longest missionaries we've supported. He's headed to New Zealand, so he's going to be with us. On top of that, we're going to be taking communion together. We'll have individual communion items again, and it's going to be a great service. If you're traveling, be sure to tune in and watch online, and let's get here as soon as you can. We want to see you. We want to worship together. We love you, church. Glad we're here. Let's pray together for God to take what the devil meant for evil and turn it for good, because we know he will as we obey him and follow him. God bless you.